What's up guys, my name is Noli Grajo, BSc 3A, and I'm the discussant or reporter of the Bituminous materials. So without further ado, let's get started.
So what is or are bituminous materials? Bituminous materials are hydrocarbons found in natural deposits or are obtained as a product of the distillation of crude petroleum. The bituminous materials used in constructions are asphalt or tars. The largest deposit of native asphalt is known to have existed in Iraq several thousand years ago. Natural deposits of asphalt occur as either native or rock asphalt. Bituminous materials are used widely all over the world in highway constructions. The asphalt materials obtained from the distillation of petroleum are in the form of different types of asphalt cements: slow curing liquid asphalts, medium curing asphalts, rapid curing liquid asphalts, and asphalt emulsions. The quantity of asphalts obtained from crude petroleum is dependent on the American Petroleum Institute or the API gravity of petroleum. Um, The refining process of the bituminous materials are divided into two or have two types. The first one is the fractional distillation, which is the separation of different materials in the crude petroleum without significant changes in the chemical composition of each materials. The second one is the destructive distillation. It involved the application of high temperature and pressure resulting in chemical changes. So the difference between these two is that the fractional does not make any changes and the destructive make changes. So that is the key point of or the difference between these two. Description and uses of bituminous binders. Number one is the asphalt cement. It is obtained after the separation of lubricating oils. It is used mainly in the manufacture of hot mix, hot laid, and asphalt concrete. Number two is the asphalt cut box. These are slow curing asphalts, medium curing asphalts, and rapid curing asphalts. It is used mainly in cold laid plant mixes, road mixes, as surface treatments. Number three is the emulsified asphalts. Are produced by breaking asphalt cement and dispersing them in water with emulsifier. It is used in cold laid plant mixes and mixes for several purposes. Number four is the blown asphalts. It is obtained by blowing air in the semi-solid residue. It is useful as a roofing material, joint filler for concrete and automobile concreting. Number five is the road tars. It is obtained from the destructive distillation of such organic materials as coal. It is rarely used for highway pavements. Now let's talk about the properties of asphalt materials. Number one is consistency. The consistency of any asphalt materials changes as the temperature varies. Consistency have two types, which is the variation of consistency with temperature and consistency at a specified temperature. The next one is aging and temperature sustainability. When asphaltic materials are exposed to environmental elements, natural deterioration gradually takes place, and the materials eventually lose their plasticity and become brittle. This is known as weathering. The factors that influence weathering are oxidation, volatilization, temperature, and surface area. When we say oxidation, the asphalt materials attacked by oxygen in the air. Volatilization is the evaporation of the higher hydrocarbons from the asphalt materials. And temperature influence the um, volatilization and oxidization. Because of the higher temperature, the higher the rates of oxidization and volatilization. Surface area influence oxidization and volatilization. The next one is the rate of curing. Rate of curing is the process through which asphalt materials increases as it loses solvent by evaporation. The next one is resistance to water action. Asphalt must continue to adhere to the aggregates when the presence of water. So it is very common that um, asphalt must be water resistant for a long lasting use. Next one is temperature effect on volume of asphaltic materials. The volume of asphalt is affected by changes in temperature. Now let's talk about the test for asphalt materials. There are a lot of tests used for the asphalt materials. Number one is the consistency test. which is the property used to describe the consistency of asphalt materials in liquid state, is the viscosity, which can be determined by conducting either the Seibold-Forel viscosity test or the kinetic viscosity test. Tests used for asphalt materials in a semi-solid and solid states include the penetration test and the flow test. The ring and ball softening point test, which is not used often in highway specification, also may be used for blown asphalt. Number 2 is the penetration test. Gives an empirical measurement of the consistency of a material in terms of the distance a standard needle sinks into the material under a prescribed loading and time. Number 3 is flow test. The flow test is used to determine the consistency of semi-solid asphalt materials that are more viscous than grade 3000 or have penetration higher than 300. Number 4 is ring and ball softening point test. It is used to measure the susceptibility of blown asphalt to temperature changes by determining the temperature at which the material will be adequately softened to allow a standard ball to sink through it. Number 5 is the durability test. When asphalt materials are used in the construction of roadway pavements, they are subjected to changes in temperature, freezing and thawing, and other weather conditions over a period of time. These changes cause natural weathering of the material, which may lead to loss of plasticity, cracking, abnormal surface abrasion, and eventually failure of the pavement. One test used to evaluate the susceptibility characteristic of asphalt materials to changes in temperature and other atmospheric factors is the thin film oven test. Number 6 is rate of curing. Tests for curing rates of cutbacks are based on inherent factors which can be controlled. This test compare different asphalt materials on the assumption that the external factors are held constant. The next one is the rheological test. It is divided into two, which is the dynamic shear test and the bending creep test. Dynamic shear test is the test used to determine the dynamic or the oscillatory shear modulus and phase angle of a sample of asphalt binder when tested in an oscillatory mode. A dynamic shear rheometer or the DSR test is used to conduct the test. Bending creep test is the indirect loading techniques are used in this test to determine the tensile creep compliance of hot mix asphalt under different loading times, tensile strength, and Poisson's ratio. Number 8 are the other general tests. Several other tests are conducted routinely on asphalt materials, used for pavements constructions on either to obtain specific characteristic for design and purposes. Now let's talk about the asphalt mixture. There are three asphalt mixture. Number 1 is the hot mix hot laid asphalt mixture. It is produced by properly blending asphalt cement, crushed aggregate, fine aggregate, and filler or dust at temperature ranging from about 175 to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the type of asphalt cement used. The next one is the hot mix cold laid asphalt mixture. Asphalt mixtures in this category are manufactured hot then and ship laid immediately, or they can be stockpiled for use at a future date. The last one is the cold mix cold laid asphalt mixture. Emulsified asphalts and low viscosity cutbacks asphalts are used to produce cold mix asphalt mixtures. They also can be used immediately after production or stockpiled for use at a later date. So that's all. Thank you.